Hi everyone. He said Holland, and I heard people shout Netherlands, but I'm from Holland, which is part of the Netherlands officially. But I think about 60% of the Dutch people don't even know that, what the difference is. It's fine to say Holland. Yeah, he showed you the top-rated stuff, but I'm in the Jet team, so you can just muck about with the database. And no, I don't do that. So, my presentation is about Advanced Module Manager, and we're going to kill some kittens. This is a PowerPoint. That's the first kitten. And it's PowerPoint 2007. It's the second. Another one for Windows, which I'm using. And two more just for the fun of it. So I'm Peter van Westen. And yeah, I started with Joomla back just before it became Joomla, back in the Mambo days. First for a website for my church. And is everything? Oh, I should record, shouldn't I?
No, you are recording.
Oh, great. Even louder? Oh. So first for a church website, and I needed it to do some stuff that Joomla didn't do out of the box. So I started hacking stuff, which worked. Then came the first update, and all my hacks were gone. So I quickly learned that it wasn't a good idea to do core hacks. Then I did some plugins to do what I wanted to do, and that when I had about 4, I created a website to share these, and I needed a name for that, and NoNumber.nl was still free, so that's how the name came about. It's not very deep. There's not a deep thought process behind the name. It was just something I needed. And that grew into a business later on. And gratefully, I'm very grateful that I am full-time now, just developing my extensions and the support for it. So, what else have I got to tell you? Well, I've got 20 extensions at the moment, and I'm very busy converting them to Joomla 3. I've got about 12 ready now, I think. And that's it. So, just to start off with, I don't like it when people, presenters just simply read out what is on the slide. And I think, come on, man, just send me the hashtag $! PDF, will you? Okay, enough with the nonsense. Oh wait, I'm still doing it. No, it's following what I say. Stop it. Australia. I'm very pleased to be here, and I'm very pleased to have been invited here. It's a bit of a dream come true. So I'm loving my time here. And the greatest thing I love about Australia is, of course, Flight of the Concorde. What? Pardon? Is that New Zealand? Oh dear. Well, that's 10 minutes of my presentation gone then. Well, I'll skip all these then. Come on. I always get stuck on this one. Okay. Well, I guess I can skip him and then. Russell Crowe. Also, okay. Peter Jackson, Kiwi, okay. Well, then I've got one left, and that's him, of course. Yeah, I'm on the right track with him. Well, that's the one thing I love about Australia. And Melbourne, I've been tagging along with Pete Nurse, and he showed me around Melbourne, which was great. But most of the stuff I've learned about Melbourne is, of course, from the Melbourne Identity series. And now, the serious part, Advanced Module Manager. What I'm going to do is show you around the extension, just show you the different features it has, and show you what you can do with it. And I hope it's not too boring. So we'll get out of here. And this is ready for 3.0, so I'll just show you it in 3.0 just because it looks better. When you install Advanced Module Manager, you won't find it here because it hijacks the normal Module Manager link. If you click on it, it's been installed in this website. Come on. There we go. As you can see here in the, can you read that? It says COM Advanced Modules instead of COM Modules. So if you change that back to modules, it's back to the original one. I'll show you the difference between the two. So this is the difference. Which is pretty much nothing. This is Advanced Module Manager, as you can see by the title. In the list view, there's not too much interesting stuff going on there. The only stuff you can see here is the colors. You can add a color to the module, and that's only for the back-end use, just to find them more easily. And an open in modal button, which is really irritating. So I never use this, but it's supposed to help with so you don't have to refresh the page all the time. So that's about it for the view, for the list view. The idea behind Advanced Module Manager is to be able to do a lot more stuff with modules. In the core, what you can see if you open it, you can assign a module by, am I in the right one? Yes. By menu items. By default, a module is on, it appears on your complete site, and then you can say, I want it on a certain selection. And that's about it. I needed to show modules on a few other things. When I made Advanced Module Manager in the first place, it was for this option, to be able to show it on all pages except. That wasn't in there yet in 1.5. So that was the birth of Advanced Module Manager, and it grew from there. They adopted that into the core, which is great. Luckily, there's still a lot more to Advanced Module Manager to make it interesting. But before I go into the module, once you install it, you should go to the options first. Here you can see you can virtually switch off anything that is extra in Advanced Module Manager. So Advanced Module Manager is simply the core module manager, but with a bunch of features hooked onto it. So the show color thing, you can switch that off, and the modal thing, we'll switch that one off at least. There's a few other minor stuff here, but this is where the magic is. These are all the assignment settings you have in Advanced Module Manager. This is what it's all about. and you can switch them all off. If you do, you might as well just uninstall Advanced Module Manager. So I don't recommend that. But I would recommend you switch off anything you don't want to use, also to make it a bit clearer for your client or yourself, that you don't get lost. I'll show you why. Duplicate. Often people, when they open this extension for the first time, and they go into the settings, come on, it's taking a long time. And these are all the settings you have in assignments. So instead of only the menu items, you now have a list of, well, not 15, 20 options. And these can all open up, include, and include. So that can get very confusing very quickly. So I urge you to just switch off anything you don't want to use, and that will hide them in this view as well. So that's that. So what I'm going to do now is run you through all the different options we have, and show you a few examples with each. So what you can do is create a new one. We'll make a custom HTML. But you can of course do this with any type you want. We'll put an image in there. There we go. We'll call it test. And we'll throw it on the right side of the website. Save. Throw it on the left side, that's easier. So now this module, and it'll be appearing on the left side now, that will show up on every page in your website. There we go. So we go to the module assignment, and here we have a bunch of options. We'll start with the first one. This is menu items. That's pretty much exactly the same as the core functionality. You can just select the menu items you want to assign it to. You can also select child items. So if you create a new menu item, it will automatically be assigned to that if it's your child item. So that's pretty straightforward. And the home page, that is a new addition. It's if you assign it to this one, it will show only on the home page, the actual home page. Then you think, well, you can do that with the menu assignments. You just select the, which one is it? The top menu, I believe, main menu, home. Now it shows on the home what you want, and not on the parts, for instance. The issue with menu items is that Joomla works on the basis of the item ID, or the menu ID, and links without a menu, a specific item ID, they inherit the ID of the page you're linking from. So in this case, if I create a link to an article from my homepage article, it will inherit the homepage item. So now it also shows in this article. If you don't want that and you want it to only show on the real homepage, then you can use that homepage option. Where are we? We're in the wrong one. Close the wrong window, sorry about that. Test. Ignore. Include. So now it should show on the home, and if you click on the link, it doesn't show there. So that can be a handy feature. With all options, you have an include and an exclude, which work that way. So if I use exclude, it will show everywhere except on the home page. And you just click ignore. If everything is marked ignore, then it will show everywhere. So as soon as you start selecting stuff, you're limiting it down. If you have a couple of things selected, it might get a bit overwhelming, all these options and scrolling. So then you can click on this button at the top, show assignments, only the selected ones, and then it hides the rest. So now it only shows these three. So that's just a little feature in there. There we go. Let's see, we've got the date and time. Date and time is also in the core. You can say I want to show this module only from the 1st of this month to the last of this month. So this is the same as in core, but you can also exclude it now. But in Advanced Module Manager, in the Pro version at least, you can also assign it to seasons, and especially for Australians, you have to click the Australian seasoning, just to be special, I guess. And or months. Yeah, it's all pretty much straightforward. The days and time. And this is a nice one to show you the difference between the option, the matching method. The matching method, you can choose between all and any, which is, it works like you use and or in a Google search, for example. If you have it on all, which is the default way, it has to match every single assignment you set up. So if I say I want to show it in December on Friday between 10 and 11, for instance, it has to match all these assignments, and in this setup it would show only on every Friday in December between 10 and 11. If you use the any option, it will show if any of one or more of these pass. So it will show in the whole December month. It will show on every Friday in the rest of the year, and it will show on every day between 10 and 11. So yeah, especially if you're using a lot of assignments in one, it can get a bit confusing. So I would suggest you just stick with all. So, are there any questions up till now? Am I going too fast? Yeah?
We see here that you can do A and B and C,
yeah.
Or A or B or C. Do you have any plan to allow more complex logical construction?
Yeah, so the question is, can you do more complex things than only and or? Like do one and the other or something else. At this moment, yeah, at this moment you can't do that. I do have plans for that. but it's still only a plan. My idea is to rip out the whole assignment part out of Advanced Module Manager and make it into an own component in which you can mix and match your own assignments how you want it and save that as a preset. And then you can assign a module to that preset. The only downside of that is that it can probably be very confusing and complex very quickly. And how many people will actually use it. So I'm still thinking about that, if it's very necessary. My advice is if you start using more than 3 assignments, then it's probably best to split them up in 2 modules. You just copy the module and do the other stuff in the other module. Yeah?
One thing you don't know about Melbourne is we don't have seasons, we have weather and temperatures. I'm just wondering if you could add in there, kind of link with our weather bureau so that if you're selling ice cream and heaters, you've got the right article.
Yeah.
According to the predicted temperature.
Yeah, I can put a weather assignment in there for Australia that you have just one option, hot. Yeah. This is hot for me. I'm from it's freezing -6 and it's snowing at home, so this is hot. Yeah. No, I don't think that will happen. Any more questions before I go on? No, I'll move on then. Let's see, languages. Languages is pretty straightforward. Especially if you only have one language installed, then it's useless. You can figure that one out. Templates, same thing. You have templates often share the same module positions. Like this, this is position 8, and here it's on the left side, and in B's it's on the right side. So you can, if you're using multiple templates in one website, you can set it to a certain template in this way, or exclude it. The URL, that's a very interesting one. This is probably the most powerful one, at least in the free version. With the URL, you can pretty much do anything you need. This is using regular expressions, which is Chinese to most people, except the Chinese people. And I'm doing a part on regular expressions in my workshop on Monday, so if you want to know more about that, come there. Let's see, what was my example for this one? Okay, Australian parks, of course. Let's say I only want to show a module on this page on the Australian Parks image gallery. It's pretty difficult to find out what menu items I would want it to show up on, especially if I add categories, and how would you go about that? It's much easier to say I just want it to show up on any page that has image gallery in it. So if I just do that, there's no regular expression special syntax here, so you can just put that in there and save it. And now it should show up on this page and not no. So now it shows up on the image gallery. There we go. And also on any other page, sub-page that has image gallery in the URL. Ceph URLs are by default from 2.5 already. And this simply looks at the actual URL you are typing in. So if you're using both, if you're mixing them, you would have to also add a rule for the non-ceph URL. But I believe in 2.5, it's virtually no websites use non-ceph. It's on by default. So yeah, and you can just add a new rule on every line you want. The most important regular expression characters you have to think about is the dot. That's a special character, and the question mark. Those are the ones that you find in a URL. And if you want to match a dot, you just escape it with a backward slash. And the same with the question mark. An actual dot in regular expression can mean any character. So if I want to assign it to every image gallery page except the home image gallery page, then I can say it has to match that and any character after the slash. And if that matches, then it should still show up on this page. There we go. Yeah, regular expression wildcard. So the dot is a wildcard in regular expression. So now it doesn't show on image gallery itself because it doesn't have a slash and whatever character after that. But it does show on the other page. But yeah, you can use that for whatever you want. So that's a pretty powerful one, and even if you only use this one, you can pretty much assign it to every single page you need. The operating systems and browsers. This works on the basis of the session ID of your browser. So you can assign it to Windows and Mac and Linux and the others. This isn't 100% watertight because you can spoof the session in your browser. But usually people don't bother with that. So you can use this and to target your certain audiences. If you sell products for Mac or Windows, you can show different modules for different users, and even on sub-level. The same idea with the browsers. So you can use, you can show them on the different browser types. And this is probably the most useful one. You can show a module for Internet Explorer 7 and lower, saying get a normal browser, something like that. Then you deal with the whole Bootstrap Mootles thing as well. And mobile browsers, you can assign it to only mobile devices. And even search bots. So I think I'll have to remove this option because potentially you could show different information to your Google search bot than other visitors. And that would be good for indexing until they find out. And then you're off the list probably. So this is a dangerous one. I'll probably remove this in the next version. It's not very useful. But we can try out the Internet Explorer one. So we'll just show this only on Internet Explorer. We'll ignore the rest. Good question. Browsers, is that in the Pro version? We'll have a look. There we go. Yep, correct browsers. So it's mainly the third-party stuff and users and the special date functions that is in the Pro. So yeah, that's in there. I've assigned it now to the right one. So what's the purpose of showing them on certain browsers? Well, for instance, if your market exists of that you have products that target special browsers. So if you have an extension or a product that works on Internet Explorer, you can advertise that via a module on only Internet Explorer, something like that. Or what I said, you can make a module that says this website is not compatible on browsers like IE. And it should work now. So here on IE it's showing, and on Chrome it isn't. So yeah, you can use that for whatever you want. And if you don't want, and if you see no reason of using that, then I suggest you switch it off in the settings, so you don't get bothered with an extra option. 10 minutes, great. Yeah, that'll do. So on to the next one. We're nearly through. Ignore this one, show all. So that was the browsers. Next one is pretty straightforward but very useful, is components. I use this a lot on my own website. Like I hide modules for my forum page because I want the full width, or I show them on my contact form page, stuff like that, or on your shop. Then it just shows on every single page from that component. Then you have Joomla content. If you want to show a module on all your articles, but not on your categories, that is really difficult to do with only menu items. Up till now, or without Advanced Module Manager, the solution is to make hidden menu items and assign them to certain menu items, to create article menu items, but hide them, and then assign them to these hidden menu items. Well, that's a drag, and it can be very simple in this way. So you can use the different page types or categories, and then it shows up on the entire category with a page type filter, or even individual articles. And let's see. So here is a list of all the articles. So even on article level, you can assign a module to it. And the keywords works with the meta keywords field you have in articles. So you can use that like a tagging system. And yeah, I've not got too much time, so I'll skip the examples of that. I'll move on to the last one. There's a couple of third-party extensions this supports as well, and it's pretty much the same as the articles. So there's K2 and Virtumart and Akiba subscriptions and a couple of others. So you can assign them to the page types there in the categories and the items, and some of a few more options. The most powerful one is the PHP. If you know a little PHP, this is very powerful. If you don't, I would suggest you leave it alone because it can break your website. You pretty much can write anything in here that you want. So anything that isn't already an assignment, you can work out here if you've just got the right PHP script. And what it boils down to is it has to end with a return 1 or 0 or false or true. I've got a simple example is like if I want to show a module to, did I have this? Return, and I'll show the other one. It's a bit more complex.
You could say if the Bureau of Meteorology is above 25 degrees,
yeah.
show this module.
Yeah. Now here's one I prepared earlier. Always wanted to say that. what I've done here is, this is a pretty complex one. You can use any Joomla PHP or plain PHP you want. Here I'm doing a database call, and I'm looking up the birthday field for a user and checking that field if it matches today, the month and date, and returning true if it is. So that pretty much means it should show up if it's the birthday of the person logged in. So it doesn't show now, but if I log in, and that was Peter. Oh, that's good. Who wants a cap and knows my birthday? No. It's not showing, so you could see. Oh, I'll keep the cap, I think. It's June 15th. Oh, this one, sorry. Change date. So now I'm logged into the website, and we'll just mimic the date. So now it's June 15th on my computer. So now it's my birthday. It says there in the bottom, it says 15th of June. So that's working. That's just one example, but you can do anything you could think of. 5 minutes, great. Simpler option would be, you could, I'll just show you about the extra fields that's interesting. For the people that don't know about it yet, you have a extended profile plugin, and that's in the core, and it's in the core of 2.5. It's unpublished by default. If you publish it, like it is now, if you go to users, you have an extra tab or a slider in 2.5 with extra options. So this is very useful. So now here's the birthday field I used, but this is actually in the core that you have an extended contact options. So that you can use this, but you can use anything that's in your database or anything that is that PHP can grab onto. You can use. Yeah, that's about it. Are there any questions? Back there. Yeah.
I was just thinking with the PHP thing that's in your advanced module manager and querying that, does that mean that we can run a PHP query and then use Sorcerer, for example, to have JavaScript getting inserted through the custom HTML module? So we can run a PHP query and then execute scripts with Sorcerer.
Well, the idea of this field is that you check stuff and not actually execute stuff. But this PHP gets executed on every page to check if it should show.
And then if we've got whatever script in a custom HTML module that we're using Sorcerer for, we could run applications on PHP query in a module through this.
Yeah, correct. Yes. Yes, but I'm not allowed to talk about Sorcerer here.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, any other questions? Yeah, back there.
Peter, your idea of grouping sort of styles, that lights up my life.
Okay.
When do you think you're going to do that? In the 2 days you're going to stay down in the country?
What do you mean group styles?
So to have a style,
Oh, yeah.
like a couple of assignments, assign a style to it. Because it's certainly the mirrored function in the assignments is great, but even that can take some time.
Yeah, I hope I come around to it this year.
You got to keep someone. Yeah.
No, that's a that works against the server time, not the visitor time. I've closed it now. But yeah, that it has all features have a tooltip and some extra information around it. So yeah, that's the server time, and it shows you the time of the server at that moment. The first one to walk out of my presentation is